He blocked me. What a f***ing loser.
There is nothing more annoying than when you reject a guy and he's so rude and cold to you after. Like, what do you mean? Like, okay, one, play the long game. Who knows? Maybe it could be something later, maybe just not right now. And two, why are you being an asshole? Like, just because we're not a good fit doesn't mean you have to be an asshole.
How often do you put guys in the friend zone?
How often?
Yeah, with that thing. How often?
I mean, I have a lot of guy friends.
I want you to call one of them and ask them if they want to hook up.
Oh, wait, I knew I've seen you before. I'm calling Jacob Davey. Jacob Davey.
You really just name dropped him, and I'm leaving that in.
This is gonna be really humbling if nobody answers me.
What up?
Hey, what are you doing?
Nothing. Why?
I just want to talk really fast.
With?
I just okay, you know how yeah, with you. I feel bad because I was kind of curving you the whole time I was at home.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
No, but do you want to fuck when I come back?
No.
Why?
Dead ass. I fuck with you, but not like that. You're I don't know. You're just. I don't know how to say it without being. I don't know. You good. We'll hang out soon.
Guys get friend zoned, but girls get fuck zoned. A boy stops talking to us suddenly after he gets a girlfriend, or starts ghosting us after we reject his first move. A friendship that we valued, we thought mattered, if only just a little to him, turned out not to matter at all. But in the end, we're the bad guys. We're the ones who lead the good guys on. Of course, we should just expect that's what you always want. We should just expect that friendship is never as valuable as a twist of our hand. They got friend-zoned. They only lost another girl, another rejection. But we lost a friend, someone we thought was worth more. We lost a friend.
So I just found out the boy who likes me, who I don't like back, is finally moving on from me because I rejected him. Maybe I was kidding. Maybe I do like you now. I'm really liking someone else.
Fits do you get from having him as a friend?
So the benefits that I get is he can tell me what guys are into me and what guys aren't.
What benefits does he get from having you as a friend?
All right, it's you.
Different perspectives. Every person is different. People are just people. If we like the same things, why can't we be friends? Doesn't matter who you are or what you are.
If somebody tried to rob you right now, do you expect him to try and step in?
I feel because he is my friend 100%.
If he's going to risk his life for you, what do you think would be an equal benefit for him having you as a friend?
I don't even know how to answer the question right now because I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Like I said, I don't look at it like that. I do for you what I would do for anybody. Me, it makes no difference who it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't get any benefit with being friends with her if I was friends with you.
Right.
Like this. Why? Why?
Little girl talk, okay? If you like a guy, the absolute best thing you can do is friend zone him. I am so dead serious about this. But Nikki, I don't want to put him in the friend zone because I really like him. I understand. But the problem with liking someone is that you give them too much credit before they even prove themselves to you. And also, you don't actually really get to know them. You just like this idea of them in your head. But if you friend zone them, then you're actually getting to know the person and see if you really like them. And you get to see if they're persistent enough to try to get out of the friend zone. I wish I knew that sooner because I feel like I would have been less weird around my crushes if I just friend zoned them.
I can't even say it out loud. A boy just called me to tell me he's not interested in me. He said he's maybe feeling something in the air. He wanted to address it, and he's not interested in me. I wasn't really trying to be interested in him. That's how my night's going. And then he had to say at the end of the call, I don't know how to end this call. I'll give you your night back. Now I'm not second guessing. I definitely know how he feels now. Oh, no, it's fine.
So I got friend zoned. Tonight I finally got the courage to ask one of my guy friends out and admit my feelings for him. And I asked him to be my boyfriend, and he said no. He did not feel the same way for me, and he said that he just wanted to be friends. I have been crying all night, and I feel like I ruined our friendship because I admitted my feelings for him. And when we hung out, I thought we had a connection and there were sparks, and I guess I misread the whole thing. It sucks when someone doesn't feel the same way about you. I wish I didn't admit to him that I wanted a relationship because I feel like I embarrassed myself.
Now, notice that the man rejected you and you really, really liked him. He rejected you. He probably let you down easy. He didn't embarrass you. And you're on here crying about the one that you really wanted that didn't want you back. Now, can you reverse that for a man and say, well, darn, maybe this is how they feel when we reject them. Maybe at this point in time, we can start acting like we have some common sense and be a little bit nicer. Be a little bit more gracious to them.
Y'all done made having an ass so motherfucking important that some of these bitches forgot they ugly.
Men who drive big ass trucks for no reason, like their job doesn't require it, they don't have a bunch of big dogs, are so funny to me. Like, okay, sweetie, you're a mortgage broker. What are you doing rolling up to work in that?
If you're waiting on him to approach you, you might be waiting there forever. Here's why. It takes 27 cues for you to give a man, for him to understand you are interested in him. The man does not understand that you just gave him eye contact and that you are interested in him and want him to come talk to you. He might think you're looking for the waiter or you're looking around for your boyfriend. Here's what you need to do. When you see a guy, first, you want to give the eye contact 3 seconds at least. Then, whenever you turn around again, you want to give him the eye contact with a nice little smile. Then number 3, this is the last one, and I guarantee you he will definitely come approach you. When you give him the last look, you want to stare at him, give him a smile, and then wave. Or you can wave him over like this. He's gonna understand, oh, she's looking at me. And it's really hard out there for men nowadays because women are constantly bashing them and making them seem like freaks and perverts all the time. So a lot of men don't feel comfortable approaching women, especially at the gym or even at the bar or at a restaurant. So you got to be a little bit more open. Definitely take the lead on this one. And then when he comes and approaches you and talks with you, let him take the lead.
The same people who think they're gonna find their next boyfriend or girlfriend on Hinge are actually the same people who think they are going to find that person at the club. Because nowadays that is so insanely accurate. I was out to dinner last night with a bunch of my girlfriends because we're on a little girls trip, and one girl was getting so much shit from the rest of the table because she actually thinks she's gonna find her next significant other either at the club or on Hinge. Honestly, I think if you were to go and ask your entire friend group the same exact question, it would all of course say that that girl is crazy. In my opinion, I think it's pretty obvious that most people nowadays think that they are going to find their significant other or their next boyfriend or girlfriend like through mutuals or like through their friends, whether that's through dating apps like Circa, who actually sets you up with like mutuals, or like friends of friends of friends, or like in person at like different social events. Because if that's the case, what the hell are we doing anywhere near a stranger-based dating app? Because certainly not dating, I can tell you that.
I see where you're going with this one, but I think you might have missed it.
Unpopular opinion, I will suck that bitch from scratch. I don't mind if it's gummy. You not ready all the time. I might have surprised you. But either way, he gonna get the way he's supposed to be at. And I caused it. Oh no, it's like y'all not straight enough for me or something. I mean, you do like it, don't you? Stop complaining about it. Put it in your mouth.
I just seen a post say what's the male equivalent to flowers? Me personally, you could take your ass to CVS, buy some duct tape, put that shit across your mouth and shut the fuck up.
Today is day 3 of trying to find a boyfriend in Atlanta. I'm in Brookhaven and I'm going to dodgeball night at Briarwood Park, and I brought my emotional support people. Husband/boyfriend was not found at dodgeball, but I had a really fun time and I joined a Discord and I made friends. We went to Ace's place for drinks afterwards and we play every Thursday, so I'll be back.
If you act like a bitch, women will treat you like a bitch. When a woman tries to friend zone you, you offer friends with benefits. If she balks at that, then you walk and you never look back. Don't keep hanging, especially, it's laid out in the book. If you go to kiss a girl and she turns a cheek, she's not interested or she's structured. Either way, Now, if she reaches out after that and brings up getting together, you can give her one more chance. But again, if she turns her cheek and gives you some excuse about, oh, I want to take things slow, it's like, yeah, I'm not looking for a girl that holds back. Especially when you can tell that she likes you. Structure girl will purposely not kiss you because she's got a bunch of hoops she wants you to jump through. So just politely decline to do that.
If you're an attractive woman, he's not your friend. He's not your friend. Not how most men think. They don't just be friends with an attractive woman because they like her personality. He's waiting for the opportunity, hoping for the opportunity to get out of the friend zone. Or, he's using you for social status. If a guy has attractive female friends, it definitely elevates his status. I have some guy friends, but I know where things stand. Like, I know if ever they got the opportunity, they would take it.
Men have taken the very serious issue of mental health and have personalized it just to them.
Ma'am, I stomached my way through that video so you didn't have to, and oh my god. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why there's a men's mental health month? Because of people like you. Because of posts like this. Because of trends that were going around like the moment of silence for men's health while female creators were playing the most obnoxious music that they could find in the background. Because when men try to open up about how they're feeling, they're told to man up. Because when men are in relationships, and guess what, they can be abused as well, they aren't taken seriously. If a man is by his female partner and he tries to call the cops, guess who's going to jail? Not the... Because there is a war going on inside of men's heads that we know nothing about, and nearly 600,000 men a year lose that fight. Talking about how men want to feel oppressed. Meanwhile, you're going, how can I make this about me? Saying that men don't deal with mental health issues nearly as much as women, when mental health is not a competition. Because men are taught from a very young age that having emotions, let alone even showing them, is a sign of weakness. You literally started out your video with talking about how serious mental health is, but apparently it's only serious when it deals with women, right? And since you're so pressed about when Women's Mental Health Month is, it's May. It's May. Google is still free.
I thank you for that detailed response because this modern woman does not get it. She doesn't get it. They sit up here and trash men and crap on men, but then in the next breath, they're going to be looking for a protector and a provider.
Until he comes into your life and gets rid of every single fucking problem that you have. He is just like every other guy.
Today I was with some friends and we were literally talking for like 3 hours straight about our lives, about our relationships, about absolutely everything. And when I went back in my car, I was thinking to myself, like, how sad is it to be a guy and not have this time to like let out everything you have in? Does that make sense? Like, guys don't do this. Like, do they just bottle everything up? That must be so stressful. That is why the rate for men is so high. Like, they deal with everything on their own because today, like, lloramos, nos desahogamos completamente, and they just feel so good. And I'm like, why don't guys have this? I feel so bad.
I have male friends myself that I actually trust in being my male friend and not crossing the boundaries.
You want to do a prank? Cool.
On who?
On one of your male friends. I guarantee you, if you phone them now and say, baby, and start acting, say, you know what? I need to come and see you, man. They're not going to be your friend.
I need to see.
Yo.
Hey. I'm good. How are you?
Thank you.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Say what you want, Tyler.
I just wanted to have a chat. I've just been thinking, I'll be going through it with these guys and my love life and stuff. And
Yeah, go on.
yeah, but we're really good friends. So like, it's been on my mind for a while and I've been scared to say it, but why don't we just give it a try? Like, don't you feel like we should just do that? We get on so well.
You know what? I was thinking the other day, yeah? Fucking whoever sends you drugs should probably stop sending you drugs. Because it's fucking like, whoever is actually sending drugs, tell them, listen, I want to get some of they're selling because the drug down here ain't as powerful as what they're giving you.
Do you know what?
Don't put me in your fucking stupid TikToks or any fucking game, whatever you're trying to do.
Obviously, clocked. If it was real, he'd be on it.
All right.
right, so I'm holding open interviews today. I am looking for a man who can cut grass better than me, okay? Also, somebody to take my trash out, somebody to wash my cars, and just be, you know, damn near like an electrician as well. I need you to be able to fix things. I need you to be good with your hands, okay? Pay is negotiable. Now, if you're interested, inbox me, but comment down below, and I got you. I'll reach out. Okay?
What happened to men like begging? Like, you guys don't do that anymore, or y'all only beg when you cheat, lie, or steal? Y'all can't beg and plead when you want something. Like, I'm sure you'll get something better out of that than being a weirdo. Like, nonchalance is not working for you guys anymore. Just start begging, you know? I feel like it would get you guys a lot more. Just saying. Beg and ask that girl why she ghosted you. Beg and ask that girl for why she's ignoring you. Beg and ask that girl to give you a chance. Beg and ask that girl to pay for her bills. I don't know. Be different. Y'all be accepting defeat and not even working for anything. Like, what happened to earning pussy, dude? Ugh. Grow up.
Just being honest, ladies, the way y'all treat some of these men out here, I know you wouldn't dare want a female treating your son like this. Okay? You wouldn't dare want your son to be out here looking and acting like no trick. So it just baffles me how y'all come with this energy. I don't know if y'all too consumed in social media and the facade that's all on the internet, but that man is not obligated to do shit for you unless you're his girl or his wife. He's just not. The entitlement is crazy.
Do men have this eternal fear of being used for money?
Ooh, where do I start? Well, maybe it's because that when they do end up becoming successful, they do end up getting used for money. That is their fear. It's not even just that. It's because that modern women have become more career driven. When they end up making money, if not more money than the man, then of course they don't share those resources to the man they end up with. Instead, they still expect the man to take care of them, in a sense, pay all the bills, do all those things. So yes, in a sense, why on earth should a man have to work so hard only to have to give up half of what he has, especially when it comes down to marriages and divorce? It's almost like it doesn't really benefit them. And I know women are sitting there saying, why, and you can't call somebody a gold digger if there's no gold to dig. That it's not about that. It's the simple principle of the fact that you guys are using men for meal tickets and money. Gold digging doesn't necessarily mean that a man has to be rich in order for you to use it.
Anytime I see that a man followed me on TikTok, I'll give their profile like a 0.2 second glance over. And if within that glance I get any kind of like negative aura, I'm hitting the remove as a follower button, because I'm the bouncer here and it's strict, okay? Everyone's getting a little glance over. Why are you a 55-year-old man following me on TikTok? There's nothing, absolutely nothing for you here, and I perceive that as an active threat.
When are modern women ever going to learn that it's not about them? It's not all about you. You're not that important. And I say that respectfully. I'm not that important. I'm not out here the president of the United States, the vice president, an actor, an actress. I'm not that important. Normal, average, everyday dude. When you guys start to get comfortable with that, y'all will stop getting on here talking about, I run this, it's real strict. It doesn't matter if it's strict, loose, laissez-faire, it don't matter. You're not that important.
I think it's so funny when women or girls comment on my videos and they're like, ugh, I hate women who center their entire lives around men, validation, like get better soon, love. Okay, like, what about it? Why does it bother you so much? Let me live my life. I'm bored. Okay? What if I like male attention? Like, I'm young and I'm hot. I'm not gonna get any younger. I don't know if this is a really bad take or not, but thank you for your concern, but I think I'm fine. Okay? I'm aware of all my flaws. You don't need to point it out for me.
Ladies, could we talk about how a man's behavior and attitude towards you changes the second you reject them? I get it. Being rejected is not the best feeling. However, when you interact with someone with zero romantic interest and then they're being super nice to you, and then eventually when they shoot their shot and you quote unquote reject them or friend zone them, they totally change. It's like a different person. So in the end, do they show their true colors after you reject them? Let me know what you think in the comments.
You guys don't seem to understand that a man is well within his rights to not want to be friends with you anymore. Oh, well, what was it for? It was for me to pursue you. That's why I was spending the money on you. That's why I was hanging out with you in hopes of starting a deeper connection. But you don't want a deeper connection. But I want to be friends though. Okay, since we're friends, I'm going to treat you like a friend. Oh, no, don't treat me like that. Treat me like a different friend. Treat me like a special friend. Treat me like a lady. No, I'm not. We're friends. You are a lady. But that doesn't make you, that doesn't exempt you from paying for your own meal, from being able to now open your door. Oh, a real gentleman comes around and opens my car door. I am not a gentleman to you. I am your friend. I'm your friend. I wouldn't open the door for my boy. I wouldn't, if we're going to a restaurant or something like that, or we're going someplace, it don't matter. The gym, it don't matter. I'll open the door for you, cool. Cause that's it. It is what it is. But as far as going and opening a car door, pulling out a seat, paying for your meal over and over again, and you don't do anything, you're not giving anything back. That's not friendship. I don't know what that is, but like, I don't want to say simp, but that's basically what it is. You guys want men to continue simping for you. And men say, you know what? I don't really feel like being strung along, knowing that you really don't like me. So I think this is going to be the end for us.
Are you often called a creep or have been rejected by women really often in your life? And you'd like to have a girlfriend, maybe one day a wife, but it doesn't seem like it's in your cards because it's never worked out for you. Well, I am here to help. One of the important parts about building up a relationship with a woman and getting to know her is knowing when it's appropriate to do that. So here are a few scenarios where it would not be appropriate to ask for someone's number, approach them in a romantic, hitting on, pickup way. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I don't want you to be rejected. Being rejected sucks. It sucks so bad. It hurts. So avoid being rejected. And some of you guys might be thinking, I can avoid being rejected by never ever talking to anyone. Yeah, that's true. But you'll also, unfortunately, avoid love that way. You know, love has a price, and the price is vulnerability. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. And it's so hard. And it's hard for women too. It's not just hard for men. It's hard for everyone to put themselves out there. So let's make it a little bit easier by figuring out situations where maybe it's not the right time to put yourself out there. So one is, if the person you're interested in is at their place of work, no. I can get into the reasons why in a different video, but for now, we're just gonna hit the main topics of when not to approach. If you wanna know why in these settings, I can do that another time. So one is at their place of work. Two is when they're very clearly in the middle of something. So they're in the middle of a conversation with a friend. No, do not go up. If they're in the middle of, let's say you see them washing their cars, no, not a good time. Because that's how you really annoy people, is going up to them when they're trying and their brain is totally focused on something else. Another situation where you would not want to approach is if you pick up any vibe at all that they don't want to talk to you. And so the vibes that you're looking for would be not looking at you. They don't make eye contact with you. They won't smile at you. Or if they do smile, it's one of those, awkward smiles where they're like, why are you staring at me? And that's when you want to avoid. But when you want to approach, and we're going to get into all the different ways that you can prepare yourself to actually put yourself out there and approach. But one of the things to look for is someone that wants to converse. And so oftentimes they'll be maybe sitting by themselves at a bar or waiting by themselves to order a drink at a bar. So maybe they're there with friends, but they're waiting on their own to get a drink. Another great opportunity is when there's nothing going on. So maybe you guys are both at the gym, and I know people don't like to be approached at the gym, and that's circling back to the whole when they're in the middle of something. Do not interrupt someone's workout to talk to them. But if you happen to be filling up your water bottle at the same time as them, or you're both waiting for the water station, that's a good time to potentially just test the waters with a simple, friendly, hey, how's it going? Leave it at that. This is what you want. You want to keep the interaction very brief. And then if you see them again, we can build on it. Okay? So that's the first part.
I think a lot of men, while they might be scared of rejection, once again, it's really the embarrassment for them. In all honesty, it's just nobody wants to do that, man. If you would just reject me, it might take you a little while to get back out there and say, that was tough, but I got to try it again. But what you're doing is really leaving a sour taste in a man's mouth with the way that you talk to him and the way that you conduct yourself. And you're wondering why men decide not to come up to you. You have RBF. You look like you don't like anybody. You won't smile. You look like you don't have any joy. You're not happy. You're not glad about anything. So I'm not even going to try to talk to you because I don't even know you. I don't even know where to start. I don't even want to know where to start because I don't want to come into any BS from you. I'd rather walk away.
So one of my girlfriends has had this guy friend, and we all knew that he liked her, but he was strictly parked in the friend zone. Like, this man would literally do everything and anything for her, but my favorite story is when she wanted to go to Nobu, Malibu to celebrate our friend's birthday, but she couldn't get a reservation. So she told him about it, and he was like, I'll get your reservation, I know someone. Which was actually total bullshit. He didn't have any connections. He just wanted to impress her or make her happy. This man literally called Nobu and was on the phone with them for hours straight so that he could wait for a cancellation and book a reservation. So then he finally managed to get one, but the best part was my friend was like, never mind, we don't want to go anymore. Which was so savage of her, but he had to be chill about it because he had to pretend that he got the res easily. And this is when I'm like, oh my god, I have got to raise my fucking standards. Well, the good news is this past weekend, she finally introduced him to us as her boyfriend. And if they don't get married, I will lose all faith in love and humanity. So if you're a man watching this, I'm here to tell you that it is possible to get out of the friend zone. You just have to try really hard. I mean, this man persisted for almost 3 years. He was basically the mayor of Friendzone Town, but he did it. He got out, and I'm so proud. But honestly, it freaks me out a little bit because I also have a guy friend, and I'm like, do I like him? Does he like me? And you know how people are always like, sometimes the person is right under your nose this whole time, and I'm like, is it him? And obviously some of my friends have always been like, when is this gonna happen? But then he'll like open his mouth and say something really stupid, and I'm like, yeah, no. And now no matter who I date, I'm always gonna ask, would this man spend hours on the phone just to get me a res? And honestly, my guy friend would try to get me a res if it meant a lot to me, but he would probably just buy it through Dorcio or something, and that just doesn't count. I want a man to shed some blood, sweat, and tears for me. Otherwise, I don't want it. Just kidding, but not really. Okay, this is my outfit. My tights say allergic to idiots right here. So cute. And I'm praying I don't end up in a club tonight. So bye.
This man, in my opinion, had nothing better to do. He literally did not. If you have to go through all of that, oh, he's my boyfriend now. I had to do all that just for you to notice me. I had to get you a reservation at Nobu just for you to say, I don't want it. This is why men walk away. This is why when you reject a man, he says, nope, don't want to be in the friend zone. Oh, we could just be friends. Because this is what y'all do to y'all's friends. Y'all take them or leave them. It's an option. Y'all play y'all's friends against the man that's pursuing y'all, against the man that's quote unquote chasing y'all. Oh, well, if my friend is going to sit on the phone for hours waiting for a cancellation for Nobu, then I got to raise my standards. Maybe it's a guy that has been liking me for years and I don't like him back. You already think the guy is stupid. You already think the guy is an idiot. So that's not your man. You're going to be thinking that you're giving him a chance. You're going to be thinking that you're doing him a favor. Who wants to be around that? These modern women and their way of thinking is pathetic.
A friendship red flag that has absolutely nothing to do with our friendship is a woman that is able to curse out a grown man. Maybe it's just because I grew up with brothers and I don't know who y'all was raised by, but it's crazy. Especially when girls do it in the context of their relationships. This is the man that you are supposed to love and care for, and you calling him a bitch, a hoe, ain't shit? Absolutely not. And if you're willing to do that to him, to a person that you literally let inside of you, I know you're gonna do it to me. Let the day come when you get pissed off. You gonna do that right back. But not even just for myself. I just don't like to be friends with women that don't respect men. Because one of these days, you gonna meet the wrong one. And when you do, I hope I'm not there. You know what? I won't be there. Because we're not even friends anymore. The minute I find that out, we're not friends. Have a good life. I'm getting a lot of responses from my last video about cursing out men. Some of these women are even advocating for their friends to curse at grown men. And because all of them stem from the exact same logic, they did it to us, so why can't we do it to them? I'm gonna tackle all of these in one quick blow. As women, we often say that men are inherently more violent and more aggressive, and there are some stats that back that up. So your response to this dangerous, volatile person who you think can throw a brick at you at any moment is to escalate the situation. You know, my man told me that some of the girlies were so down bad that they have now turned into the very men that hurt them. And at first I was like, no, the girlies are way more emotionally mature than that. I didn't want to believe it, yet here y'all are. That being said, I'm gonna go tell my man that he was right and make him a breakfast sandwich. Y'all have a great day.
Unfortunately, and I say this in all seriousness, I just saw a clip on TikTok, maybe you know what I'm talking about, where a woman was walking amongst dudes and one of their friends had just, passed away. I don't know if somebody took his life or whatever happened. There was something that happened and it was altercation. It was tragic. And for some reason, I don't know where she got that idea from, but she was just in their hood, literally in their neighborhood, talking trash to their face. And it wasn't, oh, you guys ain't nothing. She was up in their face, cussing them out, talking about, yeah, your friend deserved that. He deserved everything about it. Just nonsense, really disrespecting him. And then she decided, I think this went on in the clip for about 50 seconds or something like that. She just, in a minute or two, just going around, just disrespecting, just talking mad trash, yelling to the top of her lungs, until finally she got in her car and decided to leave. And that's when they said, you're going to take something for what you said back there. And they made it rain, but not in a good way. So you see, all of this nonsense, talking to men sideways, not understanding the situation, not reading the room, which you say women are great at doing, not reading the room, might have gotten her taken out of here. When the video was going off, I think somebody in the back was saying, we have to get to the hospital now. There wasn't any words. There wasn't any words coming from her. It was just grunts and moans, high-pitched sounds of pain, of agony. Because a minute ago, your sounds were high-pitched in foolishness. Let that be a lesson to you. Not to get out. Modern women want you to think a certain way about men. That's why they talk to you like that. That's why they talk about you like that. That's why they call you a pick-me. Because you actually like men. You think men are human beings. They only think of men as objects, ATMs, things to extract resources from, money from. That's why they're upset with you and they call you a pick-me. Is because you've decided to basically treat a man with some sort of decency.
So this guy's frustrated because relationship advice oftentimes revolves around men working to learn, unlearn, change, improve, understand, but it seems like they're never telling women that stuff. Individual women absolutely need to work on being a better relationship partner or a better communicator or understand her partner's perspectives more. But by and large, women don't have as much work to do in the work to understand the perspective of the opposite gender. This is not because women are just magically amazing and we just know everything automatically. No, of course not. But women see men's perspective literally all the time. We grow up in a world where men's perspectives are always shown. In history, in movies, in media, and TV shows, in healthcare and government and biology lessons, and in the workplace. Women don't have to work very hard to learn the male perspective because it's always been shown to us. But for a lot of men, especially those who don't have sisters, they never really get to see the female perspective. They have to go out of their way to learn the female perspective. When you think about World War II, you probably think about the men's role in that. I just recently read The Nightingale, and it was a super interesting book about World War II about two women's perspectives. One was a total badass spy who was interesting to read about, but I was actually more interested in the regular old woman, the woman who just took care of the children at home, who struggled with hosting German soldiers in their home, tiptoeing around invaders and fighting like hell to keep your children from starving. We talk about the soldiers and the glory, but we don't talk about the women who kept the wheels on. And it's not just history, it's everything. Women don't really have to go out of their way to learn men's perspectives. That doesn't mean that no individual woman needs to work on her communication or her understanding someone else's perspective. But by and large, women don't have this big blind spot of men's perspectives the way men tend to have for women, especially men without any sisters. Whenever a girl is describing her really awesome boyfriend, I'm always like, do you have sisters? And I swear, whenever a guy is really great, he always does. That's not to say a guy without sisters can't be a good boyfriend. But guys with sisters at least grew up with one little kernel of seeing women's perspectives. Seeing a woman in their life as a full person who wasn't a sexual desire or their mother. Even the way you worded this really shows your own blind spot here. You said that shouldn't women be more direct in their communication to men? This idea that men are direct and women are indirect is just a myth. In fact, by and large, it's proven that women tend to be better communicators than men. Men are just often so unaware of women's perspectives that they think they're being indirect when really they don't even understand what we're talking about. Like a woman telling you, I want you to just know sometimes, I don't want to have to explain this to you, isn't her being indirect about what she wants. It's actually her being extremely direct about what she wants. She wants you to know things without having to be explained every time. She's not unaware of how to communicate that she wants the dishwasher unloaded. It's not even that she wants the dishwasher unloaded so bad. If that was it, she would simply tell you that. It's that she wants you to be an equal partner that steps up and thinks about things before she has to explain every little thing to you. And yes, there are individual women who are terrible communicators and need to work on that, but by and large, there is not a big issue of women not having strong communication skills. There is not an issue with women not understanding men's perspectives. In fact, women are considering what men are thinking and feeling all the time. That's why we often tiptoe around men, disappear and ghost, smile and assuage, or fire hard at you, guns blazing, so that you leave us alone. Women are constantly perspective shifting and thinking about what you might be thinking and feeling. We have been doing that since the beginning of time because it's what keeps us safe, and because it's impossible not to under the patriarchy.
So there was a comment that I liked, and instead of reading the full thing, it had some studies and citations on where it got its evidence from. But the gist of the comment was that women tend to read feelings a bit better than men, right? A lot of times men are taught to hide their feelings, so there's less for women to read. So they get the wrong signal, and it can make it harder for women to understand men, not because there's a lack of skill there, but because the signals that they're used to seeing, maybe in a woman or children, men aren't showing those signals. They're cloaking the signals, which is what men say they do. Because of X, Y, and Z, I'm cloaking myself. And when I cloak myself, I protect myself. Now, one of the comments that the original poster, well, not the original poster, but the person who left the comment, one of the things that he made, or one of the things that he said was, men and women are both able to forgive, right? So it's not necessarily that I can't hear what you're saying and then say, oh, I understand that. Men can understand and they can forgive. Same rate, same understanding as a woman. But as far as empathy and reading feelings, women are a little bit better. But we know that, though. Men play a different role, right? So if you have a child that comes out and does something wrong, the man is going to look at it from the perspective of this. If this is a repeated thing, that this needs to be corrected. I can have empathy for you the first time, but not the second time. Mama would probably have empathy for you the first time, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, until mom just gets upset and she blows up and you know, you get disciplined. A man, probably that first or second time, well, really, honestly and truly, well, it depends. Because on that first time, if you've done something which the man thinks that you should know better on, you're not going to get a lot of empathy. Because you have to understand that you're about to cross out of this, you're about to walk out of the structure. You're crossing over into the danger zone. And as a man, I got to protect you from the danger zone. While mom is inside of the structure, coddling and crying with you and understanding that you're heard and recognizing your feelings, the man has to continually keep watch of the structure. That's his job. And that's what a lot of men do, right? A lot of men understand empathy. They understand sympathy, but they also understand sympathy and empathy. Really, at the end of the day, it's not going to get you anywhere. Sure, in relationships, it can go a long way. A lot of women, what they look for, they're not really looking for perfection emotionally. They're looking for vulnerability. They're looking for a man to share his feelings with reckless abandon, because that's what they do. You'll notice they'll get on TikTok, they'll get on Instagram, they'll call pastor, mom, friends, therapist, random strangers, people who they have no business talking about their business with. They'll tell them because they're more emotional than men. We know that. We know they're more emotional. So I'm just feeling these emotions. I got to get them out. I got to dump them. Even if it's imperfect, it's an emotional dump. That's why you have all of these women talking about your feelings are valid. I can understand how they're empathizing. I can understand how you got there. They're not focusing on the incorrectness of the statement. Well, as I saw somebody in the comments say, well, as a therapist, women don't need to be told to go to therapy or go seek out advice to help themselves because they're already doing it. No, once again, they're looking for a place to dump their emotions. That's why when women say, I've done the inner work, I've healed, I've done this, I've that, I go to a therapist, what they're really saying is, I have somebody to dump my emotions on every single session. And they give me a couple pointers and I go right back out here and I don't follow none of them. Maybe a couple of them, but other than that, I'm only here at the therapist because they said it's a safe space to dump my emotions and somebody can kind of direct me. Women need direction a lot of time. Well, most people do. But that is what a man, if you would listen to him, he would give you direction. He wouldn't have to cloak his feelings. If when he comes to you, maybe in tears, or when he comes to you and says, you know, that really offended me, how you listen to somebody else, but you didn't listen to me. Well, if you would be a leader and you wouldn't do this, that, that's what a man hears from you. And he cloaks. Let me go ahead and pull that cape back over me because you're not listening. You'll walk your silly self into the therapist's office, into the pastor's office, to your mom and daddy's house, bash your husband that you committed to. You'd be like, they told me that you should be doing this, and this. Did you give them the full story? Well, they didn't need the full story because of this, and this. So you weren't fair. And you told them the parts that you wanted to tell them so they could empathize with you and they could feel sorry for you. You went in there and dumped on them emotionally because you knew that's manipulative. You knew that they would read your emotions and they would say, wow, that's terrible. But if you were to walk in there, mama probably still feel sorry for you, but daddy would be like, wait a minute. Now hold on. You my baby girl, but what did you say you said to that man? What did you say you did to that man? And it would be a problem. And you know that. And you know how to get daddy's attention. That's why you leave some stuff out. Modern women are doing this. It's not that y'all are better at anything. It's just that y'all go a different way about things. And men have a certain stopping point for empathy. And that point of understanding and getting things back into the correct order comes in faster for men. Y'all just go on down the road of empathy. A man didn't stop and say, okay, we need to course correct.